Money, money, money.
It can be like a bit awkward sometimes.
Generally speaking, it's a taboo.
Money becomes an issue in relationships even during the very first date. Who pays? Or do you split the bill? Is it awkward to talk about money? So how do European couples navigate the topic? We look for answers from couples themselves and from a trained expert. Let's start with the basics. Do you know what your partner earns?
Yeah, I have a, clear idea.
Yeah.
Yes, I would openly talk about my own salary.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Not for a first date, but but then, yeah, it's good to know.
Well, that seems fairly straightforward. Most people know what their partner earns. So maybe it's not a taboo subject.
I don't really think it's that big of a deal.
The less you talk about it, the more it becomes a problem. The more it becomes the elephant in the room, so...
Yeah, I think it can be a big topic, and it can be like a bit awkward sometimes.
Yeah, I definitely had some issues in a previous relationship with money.
Aha, it's not quite that simple after all. We showed our interviews to psychologist Gülcihan Korkmaz. As a couples therapist, she's familiar with money conflicts.
The interesting thing is I think it's not a taboo topic if there's no problems financially. Communication is so important. You need to communicate because usually when we have gender-specific or nationality-specific arguments, it's all about your expectations. With heterosexual women from abroad, there is this common idea of the German male to be very, very greedy. It often is stated out that when it comes to paying for a heterosexual German man, it's loaded with a lot of prejudice.
It's no coincidence that money is a huge issue, especially between the sexes, because on average, women earn less than men. In the EU, the gender pay gap is around 12%, and according to a British study, men who earn more than their wives are happier. Interesting. And what if the woman earns more? Would that be okay?
Yeah, it's even better.
Yeah, definitely.
If two people have different incomes, it might be hard to match.
It's 2025, it's not a big deal.
I know like my latest relationship was someone who earned a lot more than I did. There are moments where your ego kicks in and he wants to be like, nah, I should pay this time, but most of the time it's okay.
And what does the relationship expert think?
Interesting, but not true at all. Of course, since your birth, you have been socialized so strictly in gender roles. We are raised in a system where the male part is dominant. Money means power, and this is all over the world, it's the same. So in our relationships, we like to have this self-image, this idea of, no, I'm totally cool with my partner to earn more than me. This might be a very nice idea, but the reality usually kicks in differently. Because when there are some power shifts in a relationship, or just very easily the woman wants to work and wants the partner to stay home and look after the children, there are problems.
So that means money and gender roles are closely related, but according to the psychologist, money is less of an issue for gay couples.
When I think about it, financial topics are not that often stated out.
According to surveys, around 3/4 of German couples avoid conflicts about money, and some feel awkward asking for reimbursement. Consequently, over 1/3 of Germans steer clear of the topic and wouldn't ask their partner to repay amounts between 10 and 100 euros. So how do European couples work out who pays?
Yeah, I think the person that earns more should apport more to the relationship, yeah.
I think that generally is okay 50-50.
If someone was making like a lot less than me, then I would, want to look after them a bit or treat them a bit,
For me, it's important to be independent.
Mostly we split, like 50-50.
So it appears that paying 50-50 is quite common in Europe. But Gülcihan Korkmaz doesn't necessarily think that's fair.
Yeah, that's stupid. I'm sorry. Because you cannot just divide into 50-50. Human beings are never 50-50. You will have relations like 60-40, 70-30, and we need to be flexible about that. If you have a shared account in which every party is paying relatively the same, you are avoiding a lot of problems. If both pay 20% of their earnings into that shared account, you have a bigger sense for fairness. Yeah? And then by talking, you point out which costs are covered by this shared account.
So what's your take on money and relationships? Let us know in the comments.